Here in this video we will showcase 15 more doomsday or planet killing weapons, and if you haven't seen the first part then do navigate to the link in the description or wait for the end screens in the end of the video. Let's get to it. Number 1. The Molecular Disruption Device. Coming from the universe of Ender's Game, the Molecular Disruption Device was created by the International Human Fleet a few years after the end of the Second Formic War. It was constructed after the discovery of the egg drive that gave powered light speed. With this discovery, the fleet learned that the same technology could be used to rip apart anything into its constituent atoms. In Ender's Game, the movie, the Molecular Disruption Device is portrayed as a machine with twin barrels that fire two separate lasers carried by a massive starship. This device utilizes two beams which when fired would meet together to create a field in which electrons could not be shared. If the field came into contact with more molecules, it becomes more powerful, and then the dispersal process would start over and magnify and dematerialize everything, with the only remaining end products being a clump of ionized particles. Number 2. The Blackstone Fortress. A Blackstone Fortress, or as the Eldari would call it, a talisman of Vol, is this massive ancient star fort that is part space station, part super weapon. Nobody really knows who built them, and they're made of this super dense onyx-like material that even the Imperium's best technology or tech heads can't figure out. They're old, like really old, and they're thought to date back way to the War in Heaven 65 million years ago, a galaxy-spanning conflict from before humanity even existed. These fortresses weren't just big, they were armed with terrifying warp-based weapons. The most infamous was this warp cannon, capable of tearing open real space and flooding the area with pure psychic energy from the Immaterium. This kind of power could obliterate entire star systems. So fast forwarding to more recent times, in the 40K galaxy, one of these fortresses, the Will of Eternity, was under the command of Abaddon the Despoiler during his 13th Black Crusade. Even after the Imperial Fist, a Space Marine chapter, brought down its main weapon, its structure was still used as a meteor to crack open the surface of the planet of Cadia, which eventually ended the world of Cadia by the entire warp rift emerging. Number 3. The Tardis from Doctor Who. The word Tardis stands for Time and Relative Dimensions in Space. Tardises are grown, not made. They draw power primarily from an artificial black hole, a singularity known as the Eye of Harmony. A Tardis usually travels by dematerializing in one spot, traversing the time vortex, and then rematerializing in its destination. Apart from the ability to travel in space and time and to other dimensions, the most remarkable characteristic of a Tardis is that its interior is much larger than it appears from the outside. The actual explanation is that a Tardis is dimensionally transcendental, meaning that its exterior and interior exist in separate dimensions, and due to these things here, a Tardis is one of the most dangerous things in the Doctor Who universe. The destruction of one can cause a cataclysmic reaction. For example, if a Type 56 Tardis is destroyed, it makes a supernova scale explosion with some spatial anomalies. But if a Type 40 Tardis goes up in flames, everything else goes up along with it, along with the universe itself. Number 4. The Lexx. The Lexx was created as a flagship of a radically religious xenophobic alien species composed of insect-like creatures, to use by them to conduct a universe-wide cleansing of every other species that are not them. The Lexx was planned to eventually be used to destroy all human-inhabited planets to make way for a new insect era after the Great Insect War. The Lexx has more highly advanced weapon systems than the insect's previous ships. The weapon system of the Lexx uses its ocular parabole, or simply its eyes, its insect eyes, to fire a concentrated horizontal beam of energy, or a ring of energy in the later seasons, which has the ability to destroy any planet, including Earth. Number 5. Genesis from Gundam. So Genesis, or Gamma Emission by Nuclear Explosion Stimulate Inducing System, is a terrifying massive gamma ray cannon from the Gundam seed. It works by harnessing the energy of nuclear explosions to create an intense burst of gamma radiation. This radiation is then bounced off an external alignment mirror and focused through a second mirror, forming an insanely powerful laser beam. How powerful, you ask? Well, if Genesis were aimed at Earth, it could literally wipe out half the planet's life in one shot. The blast doesn't just vaporize its target. People near the beam's path are instantly cooked. Their bodies swell up and explode, even if they're inside a ship. It's the kind of weapon that screams overkill. Number 6. Tox Uthat. The Tox Uthat was a quantum phase inhibitor which was created from the technology sourced from time travel, a device capable of halting all nuclear fusion within a star or to reignite a dying star. It is suggested that the Tox Uthat puts out its target star somewhat non-destructively, which could be very useful in terraforming in the future. This star-destroying device is the size of a closed fist. It is perfectly safe to handle and is undetectable to at least the 24th century sensors of the Star Trek universe. It is the same in deadliness as the trilithium weapon that utilized trilithium as an explosive agent which was capable of stopping all nuclear fusion within a star, causing an instant supernova, but this one is more unique and small. Number 7. The Galaxy Gun. The Galaxy Gun was a secretly constructed device in orbit over the planet Biss by a reborn Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars. He intended for the Galaxy Gun to be a new superweapon of terror through which he could destroy the New Republic and reconquer the galaxy. The Galaxy Gun was a 7.2-kilometer cannon/space station, which is almost 5 times the length of an Imperial Star Destroyer. The sole purpose of the Galaxy Gun was firing missiles outfitted with particle disintegrator warheads referred to as light-speed torpedoes. These massive high-yielding explosives are launched into hyperspace, which emerges at the precise coordinates anywhere in the galaxy. Once it strikes a planet, the energized warhead explodes, setting off a series of nucleonic chain reactions that would spread across the surface, converting matter into energy that consumes everything in its path. So the 8th entry in this list is the exponential Thermostellar Bombs of Dark Star. So set in the movie of Dark Star by John Carpenter and O'Bannon, in the middle of the 22nd century, mankind has reached a point in its technological advances to enable colonization of the far reaches of the universe. Armed with intelligent exponential thermostellar bombs, a scout ship called the Dark Star and its crew have been in space for 20 years on a mission to destroy unstable planets which might threaten future colonization. Equipped with a sophisticated thought and speech mechanisms, these weapons allow them to make executive decisions in the event of a crisis situation. These special weapons of mass destruction are capable of obliterating the entirety of an unstable planet. Number 9. The Starbreaker. So next, coming from the Stephen Baxter's Zealey sequence, a series of novels, this doomsday weapon is known only as the Starbreaker. It is described as the primary weapon used by the Zealey and has only been observed in use on the night fighter starships of these baryonic matter lifeforms. It is a small object that is similar to a handgun with a delicate wire wrap around the barrel, and with controls described as being for hands smaller than that of a human. The beams emitted by a Starbreaker are consistently described as being thin beams of cherry red, which when targeted at a star, causes it to die within a time frame of 4 days. It will, however, emit synchrotron radiation on the lowest setting, suggesting that it is powered by some form of particle acceleration. Number 10. The Nth Space Planets. So another deadly unique weapon appears in the Lensman series, which is a collection of science fiction novels by American author E. Doc Smith. It was a runner-up for the 1966 Hugo Award for Best All-Time Series, only losing to the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. Here there are weapons known as the Nth Space Planets, which are thought to have come from other dimensions. They also travel at superluminal speeds, which are faster than light, and can be used to ram planets or stars to create supernovas. There was even the worrying possibility that the usage of these Nth planets could cause a big crunch, in which the expansion of the universe eventually reverses and recollapses, ultimately causing the cosmic scale factor to reach absolute zero and restart the Big Bang. Number 11. Gort. Gort is an alien robot that appears in the 1951 sci-fi thriller The Day the Earth Stood Still, and also in its 2008 remake, where he remained unnamed and the original name was turned into an acronym GORT, or Genetically Organized Robotic Technology, given by the United States military. So Gort is a member of a race of robots invented by an interplanetary confederation to protect their citizens against all aggression. It is stated that he had enough power to destroy the entire planet and is seemingly indestructible and unstoppable against all of Earth's weapons, even atomic bombs. The deadliest of its abilities is to consume all matter and energy, regardless of hardness or density, and through this method of self-replication, more nanomachines are made, like the Grey Goo theorem, which would just end up consuming the entire world. Number 12. Serleena's ship. So from Men in Black 2, Kylothians are a race of invertebrate worms with a snake-like appearance and plant-like qualities. Only one Kylothian who had ever been seen on screen to date, and she is Serleena, the queen of her race, and serves as the primary antagonist in the movie. The technology of the race has not been observed in detail, but it is known that their spacecraft have a rather compact design with legs that are made for landing. These ships are small in size and are notable for their golden color. In addition to their ships, it is known that the Kylothians have a weapon similar to a cannon which was seen to be able to destroy entire planets. Number 13. The Species 8472 Bioships. In Star Trek, the Species 8472 Bioship was a type of organic-based vessel used by the Species 8472 in large numbers during their invasion of the Milky Way galaxy. The ship was highly resistant to conventional weaponry and could regenerate itself if damaged. Its hull was also so impervious that no sensors or tractor beams can pull it with energy shields. Bioships were armed with a single forward-mounted directed energy weapon powerful enough to destroy Borg cubes with a few shots. 8 bioships directing their firepower onto an energy-focusing ship were capable of destroying a planet together. Number 14. The Mars Shadow Generator. The Mars Shadow Generator was one of the most destructive superweapons in Star Wars history, and it played a pivotal role during the Battle of Malachor V between the Galactic Republic and the Mandalorians. Here is how it worked. The Mars Shadow Generator used the planet's unique gravitational fields to essentially turn the area into a massive death trap. It didn't just wreck ships and space stations in orbit, it also wiped out entirely or nearly everything on the planet's surface. The devastation was total. The weapon was designed specifically for Malachor V's weird gravitational environment, but later speculation suggested that it could be used or adapted for use in any star system. And number 15. The Nova Bomb. A Nova Bomb is a very powerful weapon that the System Commonwealth ships of the universe or the series of Andromeda possess. The weapon itself is about the size of a 55-gallon drum and is mounted on a missile. A Nova Bomb doesn't destroy a sun by blowing it up in a traditional sense. However, it instead destabilizes a star's gravity. So here, a sun's gravity or a star's gravity exerts a tremendous amount of pressure inward, while the ongoing fusion reactions exert a constant pressure outwards. Therefore, a star is in constant state of equilibrium or balance. The Nova Bomb unbalances this equilibrium by negating the star's inherent gravity, causing a runaway fusion reaction of stellar proportions. With no gravity, the hydrogen gas which was undergoing fusion disperses in all directions, exploding and destroying everything in its path. And so that is the end of the video on the 15 planet-killing doomsday weapons in fiction, which was part 2 of a previous video we did, which is part 1, obviously. Anyway, like for support, and while you're at it, bang on that bell icon for notifications on new video uploads. Yeah, subscribe too. Till the next time, take care, boys.